On the 12th of September, actually 2023, Nigerians were thrown into mourning. The entertainment industry mourned the loss of one of the great ones we've had. That's Ilerioluwa Aloba Promise, popularly referred to as Mohbad. Now, you can say it's been a while now. It's been about 5 months, 6 months. At least justice should be served by now. We've had coroner's inquest. We've had so many things, but yet we are still on Mohbad's matter. And what is happening this time around? This time around, his father, yes, Mohbad's father, is still speaking publicly concerning the death of his son. Mohbad's father has been in the news for as long as Mohbad's death has been made official. As long as they've released the official statement to say, yes, Mohbad is dead, his father has also been in the news consistently. And now his father is breaking down in tears. His man has moved from Lagos to Abuja in the course of seeking justice for Mohbad. And this time he has taken the matter to basically a family and a reality TV station to say, guys, I need help. In fact, he has gone ahead to say that Barrister Femi Falana, SAN, who is his representative, his lawyer, that he wants the service of another lawyer, and they are in the process of getting him a new person to take over his case, because he's saying that he's now remembering some situations that happened, that he was so blinded by grief, and that the things that even happened when Mohbad was alive that he forgot, and that is what he wants to talk about now, most especially the placenta of Mohbad's little son Liam. Okay, the thing is, since the death of this man, about some weeks after, Nigerians started clamoring for DNA tests, because a lot of persons should I say rightly now, a lot of persons really do believe that Mohbad's death is not ordinary, that there is something more to it, and that's what we are trying to seek answers and solutions to. And now this man has now gone ahead to give a detailed account of everything that happened. After the death of this man, he's tried to come online to justify himself and exonerate himself, because a lot of persons started asking questions, saying some things he did immediately after the death of his son is quite shady, and it's looking like no proper Yoruba father would be actively involved like that in the burial of his son, because according to Yoruba culture, especially a child that died so young, the parents should not be there. No parents should bury their child, so you shouldn't be actively involved in the burial rites and ceremony of your child. And Mohbad's father is now saying, I was not there. But earlier on, he said the casket was too small. That's why they had to bend his neck. That was one of the things that caused the first outcry when pictures surfaced online and videos surfaced online of Mohbad's body in the casket where he was laid to rest, his neck being bent. Another person said they saw blood oozing. Some person said, oh, they buried him with a cloth and something that is symbolic of them trying to pacify the spirits of the deceased so that he would not come back to haunt them. That is those that Nigerians believe are behind the death of Ilerioluwa Aloba Mohbad. Mohbad's father are now sat with ordinary president of Brekete family, and he now has come to give a step-by-step account of everything that happened, the things he can remember and the things he apparently forgot. Now, Mohbad's father started by saying that it was Mohbad's mom that actually did call him on the 12th of September around 4 p.m. to say, they said your son is terribly ill. But before I continue, I want to mention that another person whose name is Bossman, who says is one of the advocates for the justice for Mohbad, he said Nigerian police have questions to answer concerning the autopsy that has been carried out on the body of Mohbad that was exhumed about 8 days after his burial, that they've not gotten any results from, and it's actually stopping the coroner's inquest, because they are like, okay, we don't have any reports, we can't really continue with this inquest, which is something that police would do. Usually coroner's inquest is something police do in their investigation. We've gotten statements from a lot of persons, but they are unable to proceed because they are not getting results from tests and whatnot that has been conducted on the body. So they are saying that Nigerian police need to answer questions, especially them saying that Mohbad bled profusely from the event he went to in Ikorodu before he died. So now there's been a lot of sequence. There's some sequence of events that happened before this man passed that is making everything just look really complicated and shady, because nobody that was with him has an accurate explanation of the things that happened. Even his father doesn't have accurate explanation of the things that happened. Everybody's just saying, no, it happened like this, it happened like this, and everybody's just contradicting each other, which is why Nigerians are saying we want answers. Now let's go back to everything Mohbad's father said, and then I'm going to come back to this also. Do you understand? So I'm going to be telling the story like inside each other, because that's how basically it was explained. They had to get an interpreter for him to speak because he was speaking in Yoruba language, right? So Mohbad's father said 4 p.m. Mohbad's mom called him, that's on the 12th of September 2023, to say they say your son is terribly ill and is bleeding and we need to get there. So he said, okay, I'm going to meet you at a certain bus stop. He didn't mention that bus stop. So he said he took his vehicle and with his driver. Apparently he has a driver, but when the son first died, he said he didn't have a driver, he didn't have a car or nothing. But anyways, he had a vehicle. He said he took his vehicle and his driver, and then they drove to that certain bus stop. And then on getting there, he just saw Mohbad's mom and another person on a bike, and they drove past him. I was like, you guys were the ones I was coming to meet. So he just, started following them, right? He said they eventually they all met at a river. And that when they got to the river, he like both of them just got there almost the same time, but of course the bike was faster. So they got there and was like, okay, so let's get in the boat, and they got in the canoe, and they went past the river, and then they came down, and as they got down from the river and they got to, I think, Osakpa, London, Mohbad's mom, because all through they were communicating with Mohbad's mom, nobody called him. So Mohbad's mom called to say, okay, what hospital is my son? I'm coming, I'm on my way. And they're like, oh, never mind, it's fine now, you can go back. And the mother said, okay, this is what they said. And he was like, oh my goodness, my son is dead, because there's no reason why they would say that. And when he said that, like, he just knew in his heart that Mohbad was gone. That the mother held him for more than 10 minutes, and she was, weeping, and she almost wanted to cross the road and she was going to be hit by a moving vehicle and whatnot. That she held him and was like, okay, you know what we're going to do? I am going to go there. Now, in the point of this story, he didn't mention if the mother went back or if he went to that house with the mother, but he just continued by saying that he held that woman, and then it was like, okay, let's just get there. And he continued by mentioning himself afterwards, saying that he got there and he got to Mohbad's house around 9:30 to 10 that same day. He got there and he went straight to the room that he shares with Mohbad, like whenever he visited, where he himself and Mohbad have their discussions, and he went straight to the room. But when he got there, he met people, but like he wasn't paying attention. And he entered and he saw sheets covered with blood, and he was wondering what's going on here. And then he started hearing Mohbad's PA shouting and saying, daddy, the body is here. So he went downstairs and he almost could not see, because of course grief and shock, he didn't see clearly. By the time he could focus, he saw the body by the staircase, already embalmed locally, with salt on his chest and all the orifices anywhere air could enter his body blocked with cotton wool. And it was like, hey, it's nobody gave you the go ahead to do this to my son. But I mean, in that moment, he couldn't do nothing, because he met a lawyer, he met an alpha, he met celebrities, Latan, and some other persons were present already. So he said, as that was going on, Davido sent 2 million naira. And he said, okay, send it. The money should go to the Mohbad's PA, like the money should be sent to his account. And was like, okay, let's carry this body to the police station. Let's get police reports, and then we can drop this in a morgue. So they got to the police station. They said that was around 11. They got to the police station around 12, whatever. And they said, okay, write a statement. He said, in my state, I can't write, so I'm going to dictate. Let somebody write for me. So he said he dictated, he signed. And we're like, oh, there's a mistake. We're trying to correct the mistake. We can't give you the police report yet. And while they were trying to fix it, someone else came in from a different unit. Another police officer came in from a different division, from a different station, and said, okay, we are not releasing this body to this man. I was like, okay, what's going on here? We can't release this body. There's no death certificate. But that in that moment, he later got to know that his wife had death certificate with her, and that they were together in the police station, but she didn't mention it, that she had the death certificate with her. But that they got to they're like, okay, we can't give. So like, okay, let's just go drop him in the morgue. Then they had an ambulance, and so said the ambulance drove them to Ikorodu around I think 3 a.m. now. They got there, and the ambulance driver was like, okay, so I can't go past it. This is where my agreement with you ends. I can't go. But the morgue was saying, we can't take his body, no police report, no death certificate, we can't take this body. So he was like, okay, let's drive his body somewhere else then. But like, he said he now left the body there with his PA, with his wife and whatnot, and he said, okay, let me go home to my house now. Let's try and let me make arrangements for where they will bury his body dead, since nobody's accepting him, So he said he had to trek to his house. So he got home like 7 a.m. and he trekked to his house, and he had to find people to, do the right thing and take his body and whatnot. Like around 8:30, his daughter called him to say what's going on. He said, okay, go to the morgue, go meet your, your siblings there, while I will take care of his body. Around 11:30, they had prepared his final resting place, and they now said, okay, you have to go into a room. You can't be here when we bury him, so be in a room. And said it was just, he only sees it in movies where they would say that the body is not, the casket is the body was well now taller than the casket, so they had to break the neck. And it was like, he was just wondering what's going on. That they broke the neck, they put a cloth on him, and whatever, they put everything on him, and then they buried his body. And that 8 days later, the federal government said, okay, the state government, state of Lagos government, oh my goodness, yeah, the Lagos state government said, okay, we are going to exhume his body for autopsy, and it's been 4 months and no results. And that the situation also made him remember that much later, I remember that the placenta of the child, when Mohbad called to say had given birth to a child, and it was like, okay, should I come? I was like, no, don't worry, don't come, daddy, but I'm bringing the placenta to you. However, he didn't hear from Mohbad, so he called Mohbad like 15 minutes later to say, what of the placenta? And Mohbad was like, oh, daddy, don't worry, we've taken care of it. And he said he's now recollecting, and he's like, okay, putting two hands together to say maybe this placenta was taken to the father of the child to bury. So him saying, okay, we want DNA test to be conducted to confirm the paternity of Liam. That's Mohbad's the late Mohbad's son. And that's where the story ended. And then people started calling in, and that's when Bossman entered the situation to say the police saying that this man bled previously, that we should even leave the situation of things that happened on that very day and go back to the sequence of events prior to the death of this man, because we've had coroner's inquest, we had the police name some persons as principal suspects, namely one of the nurse and some of his friends that were available that day. And they said, let's go to his show. The show he performed in Ikorodu on Sunday, where he fought with one of his friends. He sustained injuries, and then in the car on the bridge going back to Lekki in the SUV that he rented, they had another fight, another situation happened, and subsequently they got home, and then him falling sick with injuries, and then the nurse coming to give him tetanus injection, and his wife pouring water on his body, and all of the sequence of events that led to his death. So they are saying that we need to really still ask the right questions, especially the Nigerian police. Nobody can bleed profusely for 3 hours and not eventually bleed out. Usually, if you are bleeding profusely from your brain, you will be dead already. Brain aneurysm, something would have happened, you would have passed on, even if not from blood shortage. That's what he's saying. So that's where we are at currently. They are still asking Nigerian police to bring answers. Mohbad's father is still speaking about the situation and circumstances that happened, still trying to pointing fingers actually at Wumi. That's the widow of Mohbad. And Wumi is still insisting that she's not going to do, she's saying she would do a DNA test, but she has not released Liam for a DNA test to be conducted to ascertain that yes, indeed, Mohbad is the father to Liam. And that's where we are at currently on the whole situation. I would like to hear from you in the comment section, guys. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching this video. Take care of yourselves. If you enjoyed it, please say that you do by liking it, sharing it with one of 2 family members. And if you have updates concerning Mohbad's passing, I will be willing to hear from you in the comment section, guys. Please let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching this one, and bye.